Hello, so this is group one, and I'll let CEO Zhao Yixing speak first.
Hello everyone, we are team one and my name is Claire. Now I'm going to give you a brief introduction about our company. William, can you go to the next slide? So Goldenware is a kitchenware supplier for world-scale supermarket chains, and it's specialized in stainless steel kitchenware. Their products include cutlery sets, shelving dishes, stainless steel mugs, and knife sets. The company started in 2004 in Guangzhou, China, and the company currently has approximately 25 employees. Products from Goldenware are spread all over European countries and the Middle East. And here you can see the logo of the company and the sample room for the company and the factory. Okay.
All right, and this is the global market. So for the company, they have bases in their market expands from USA, UK, Europe, Middle East. So it's a very big market share, and I'll give the floor to Wenshu. Wenshu.
Hi,
Wenshu.
so
Yeah.
the current data system is we used a spreadsheet of 5,000 and got the data summary. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, so for the Goldenware Enterprise Limited data, the typical cycle is to process the order itself. So first you have to receive the order from the customer and then place it with the different manufacturers. And then you receive the goods from the factory and then process it. And then you ship it out to the customers. Can you go to the next one? So when you receive the order, the database will track the customer's purchase information with the typical things that you would see, like the discount information, payment information, item information, of course, like the unique order number that you get and like the date of the purchase. And this will also be included with the transportation method and the estimated time of departure and arrival.
And I'll give the floor to Sean Lee.
As for the orders that they place for manufacturings, for each item in the order, they use database to track the article number, name, quantity, unit price, size, and material. So like all kinds of attributes of that product. And then they also keep track of the manufacturing requirement, the barcode, and packaging information. They keep a whole list of their manufacturers, including names, locations, emails, and products, so that they can be clear of what manufacturers they have on their list. As of the customer information, they have unique customer ID, customer location, and contact information to avoid any confusion. Next slide, please.
Go ahead.
And about receiving goods and processing. For each order that they place to manufacturings, they store the order date, item name, manufacturer order numbers, and assigned manufacturer.
And here's I'm Yushen Pu or William Pu speaking. And for the shipping and other helpful information for the company, for example, like we also want to keep the shipping records, such as, for example, the name of the shipping company. And we also give each instance of that shipping in a special ID. And also we also want to keep track of the route for other future data analysis purposes. And also in addition, we also want to keep track of all the other internal information in the company. So for example, like some useful financial data would include dynamic net profit and tax return for the company. And also like for shipping cost and product information, we also want to include that. And something that we think that will be innovative to add to the company's already database
Yeah,
is
William, I'm sorry. Let's just jump right into the ER diagram because I think we'll see all of that there, and we're just so limited with time.
okay. I see. Okay.
Okay, I'll be sharing my screen, and then this is the ER diagram that we have. ER is which together contains purchase order and manufacturer order. The purchase order is placed by the customer who requests some products, and then the collection of the products will form a batch, and then that batch will be produced by the manufacturer, and then eventually it will be delivered to the customer through the shipper, and then that's going to be through this node, which is the shipment, and then we're also going to deal with packaging on those products. And lastly, for internal operations, we're also keeping track of all the employees. The reason why is because they are actually a very key point in the supply chain because they manages the batch and then they also inspect all the batches as well. So that's why we want to have employees in our ER diagram. Do you have anything to add on, Sean?
Hi. Yeah, so our EER diagram includes several superclass subclass relationships. So we have the superclass contact with the subclasses customer, manufacturer, and shipper, and also the order superclass with the subclasses purchase order and manufacturer order. For both of these, we've made them partial to allow for the potential addition of different, for example, types of orders in the future if the need arises. In terms of weak entities, we have two in our EER diagram, an offer which is proposed to a customer, and the batch belongs to a deal.
Yeah, that's all about our diagram.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, first of all, thank you all for staying up or getting up so early, or staying up late, whatever you did, but I know it's like 4 in the morning, right? So thank you for that. And again, we're gonna ask you to do that very rarely, and I appreciate that you're making the effort to do it today. What I want to do is, I like this a lot, really interesting company. So let me just ask, you showed some pictures of them manufacturing. Do they manufacture their own kitchenware as well as outsource contract, or do they just outsource everything?
Claire, you want to speak for that since you're the CEO and a communication with the company?
So basically, they receive the order from the customer and they place the order to the manufacturer, and they ship all the goods. They won't keep any of them. They ship it all.
Right. That's right. So they don't have their own machines, right? They don't make their stuff. They go outside. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. That's very helpful, because I thought you were gonna have to worry about machine maintenance and all that stuff and the raw materials. They don't deal with that. So they deal with they're really the agent.
Distributor.
You know,
really like distributor.
Distributor.
Yeah, distributor, exactly. So this is a distributor. So I would call, the name of this is going to be something like Goldenware Kitchenware Distributor Database. Okay. So that's going to help us understand really where they are. Okay, good. So now you have this is good. You've actually covered a lot of the key parts. There's one of the key things that I would imagine is very true here is the bidding process. And talk with your client a little bit about that, because what happens is a customer's going to come in and say, we need 1,000 forks, something like that, right? And you're going to make a bid on the forks, and they're going to be, they're going to basically look at your numbers and see if it's right for them, right? And so there's a whole process there about a bid, and you have to do an estimate, right? Someone inside has to figure out, and they have to go and talk to different manufacturers who can make those forks, get their bids, bring those back and say, okay, add on your own profit and say, okay, here's what I can give you, okay? So I'm guessing this, I just don't know, but check with your contacts there and see, because that's a whole process that I'd like to capture in the database. Okay, how do they do this bidding? How do they think about what manufacturers are capable of each certain thing? So each manufacturer is going to have a whole bunch of capabilities associated with it. And then when you have an order, it's going to have a certain set of needs. And you're going to match the needs to the capabilities to figure out what manufacturers are even relevant for this particular customer, right? This particular batch. And now you want to be able to quickly look at that. I need 10,000 mugs from in Taiwan. I want to look at who's close to Taiwan that can do this and how fast and what, right? So I'm getting at good. And then but the other things about, I see you have things like appointments scheduled where you're going to interact with customers, the shipping, the insurance. I think you have here is liability. That's also good. And then there's something that I don't think you'll be able to get to, but it's about routing, where you might want to think about how shipments get routed if you have time. But I really like this. I think you guys are maybe at the 60 to 70% of the way there. Okay, I'm just giving everybody a round gut figure of how far I think you are, but I really think you're quite a strong way away, and you did really good. I have to commend you guys also in the use of subclasses, superclasses really makes sense. The weak entity types are correct as well, as far as I can tell. I'd like to encourage you to think about maybe some more subclasses and superclasses there, because you have sort of like cutlery. You have your forks and your spoons and your knives, right? All those are subclasses, and then you have other things that could be in those, could be broken down in that way.
And people.
Yeah, thank you.
Customer,
okay, yeah,
manufacturer, employee, like
that's
they're
right.
spread out right now.
Yeah, so you have different types of customers. You have customers that are restaurants, and you have customers that may be like cruise ships, or companies that have dining halls, or I don't know what, or universities, right? They probably need to order from kitchenware as well, right? Or maybe it's like I don't know, hotel, right? They order kitchenware. So just think about how you break those things down, but you're well on the track. Okay, so sheshe. And by the way, how many of you have coming in for live classes? Are any of you watching live, or just also watching the videos? Videos?
Videos most of the time.
Videos.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Is it working out okay for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the FAQ is really helpful for us.
Oh, the FAQ is helpful for you. Great to hear. I appreciate that. Good to know.
And then
all right, well,
I'm always getting those up as fast as I can, guys. I know you guys are some of the biggest users of those, so
yeah.
Thank you.
So much.
I know. I'm having fun. I go in every morning and check that and I answer questions. So keep that going. And by the way, from you guys, since I don't get to see you very often, but again, thank you for bearing with us. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're all working together. Do me a favor, send me an update every once in a while, just a quick email. Just say, hey, this is working or this isn't, just so I know, because we want to be able to make it work for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
good job,
Thank you.
Team One.
Thank you.